Good afternoon. My name is Steve Young, and I am a student at Liberty University, and I'm here today to give you my digital presentation for the History 300 class, and I'm here to talk about my family, the Young family, and my ancestors, and their contribution to the United States, but specifically the coal industry. And I'm not so much going to talk about how my family and had their interaction with the coal industry, but so much the coal industry had the interaction with my family. Okay? So when I say what's so unique about the state of Pennsylvania, you might think, well, what's unique about Pennsylvania? One thing you might say is the Philadelphia Zoo. Okay, the Philadelphia Zoo was started by Benjamin Franklin. Or you might think the Amish. Okay, Pennsylvania has the world's largest Amish population. Or you might think the oldest beer brewery in the United States is in Pennsylvania. Okay, but the one thing in Pennsylvania that makes it unique is Pennsylvania is famous for its coal. And the two types of coal that comes out of Pennsylvania is bituminous coal and anthracite coal. Bituminous coal is found in western Pennsylvania. It's a little softer. And anthracite coal is harder and is found in eastern Pennsylvania. And it's found in abundance here in my home county, in Schuylkill County. It was found in Schuylkill County around 1760. And it was found here in 1760 by prospectors around the Pottsville, Minersville area. One of the people that found it, legend has it, was a man by Nico Allen. Now, Nico Allen was up on a mountain. The mountain's name was Broad Mountain, and he was camping, and his campfire was on top of a vein of coal. Legend has it that the campfire kept burning and burning and burning, and that's how he found coal. He later became one of the most wealthiest people in the county. In the late 1700s, early 1800s, he was a millionaire. Now, to get the coal out of the ground, they needed lots and lots of workers. Well, where do you get a lot of workers from? At the time, a lot of immigrants were coming from the old country. This is where my family comes in. Okay, so we have the Germans coming in. That's where my family comes from. And the Germans settled all over Schuylkill County. Mostly they settled in places called Heckschersville. You also had Polish and Lithuanians. They settled in a town called Shenandoah. Now you also have the Irish. The Irish settled in a town called Gerardville. Now Gerardville became very famous because of the ancient order of Hibernians and the Molly Maguires. And the Molly Maguires became very famous because of the murders that they were accused of. And later on, they were tried and later hanged in the city of Pottsville. The Schuylkill County Historical Society has the ropes that they were hanged with. Now that you have an army of miners, now they have the ability to get the coal out of the ground. One of the companies that was around at the time was called Reading Anthracite. Reading Anthracite had bought many of the coal rights and much of the land in Schuylkill County. Now, unfortunately, what had happened was when they did that, the land was also the land that the people lived on. So if you lived on the land, you had to pay Reading Anthracite to live there. You worked, you lived, you paid them. So you really didn't make a lot of money because you had to pay them. So eventually, Charles Potts, who founded Pottsville, he had a son named Abraham Potts. Abraham Potts came around and he bought a lot of that land. And he put some of the land aside for the workers. And he built homes for the workers. Now, the workers had the ability to put money aside for themselves, to make a life for themselves, to build a life for their family. The town was called Port Carbon, and it was also called Mechanicsville. At the time, there wasn't a difference between the two, but they would eventually split and become two different towns. Two of the people that he gave land to was Charles and James Young, who were my direct ancestors. And this was around 1822. Abraham Potts was utilizing the workers to mine the coal out of Port Carbon, utilizing the Schuylkill River, who he knew ran from Schuylkill County and was a direct line to Philadelphia. He also knew that the Schuylkill Canal ran directly to Philadelphia. So, my ancestors, the Young brothers, used a plot of land called Young's Landing as a staging area so they could stage the coal to put on barges to put onto the Schuylkill Canal to ship down to Philadelphia. Now, eventually, what wound up happening was weather and time destroyed the Schuylkill Canal. And I forgot to show you this. This was my ancestors, the Young, James and Robert Young. Weather and time around 1846 or 1850, 1860 started destroying the Schuylkill Canal. The weather between floods and dry rot was beginning to destroy the Schuylkill Canal. The cost of running the Schuylkill Canal was becoming astronomical. The navigation company was not able to keep up with it. On top of that, the Blue Mountain, the Philadelphia Reading Railroad was able to ship the coal faster, and it could ship the coal 3 times. It could ship 3 times the amount of coal to Philadelphia, and it could do it cheaper. So it was pretty much a no-brainer which venue they were going to go with. So the Schuylkill Canal was only in operation for a very short time. At most, it was probably only in operation for about 30 years before they were using the railroad 100% import carbon. To this day, they don't ship coal out of Port Carbon anymore. However, the Reading Anthracite Company is still in existence. It is probably only about 15 miles from where I'm standing right here today, and they still use the Blue Mountain Reading Railroad to ship coal to Philadelphia and all over the United States, actually. But the amazing thing is my family, my ancestors, the Young family, and everybody related to them, this could never have happened had Abraham Potts not had the hindsight to take the reins and say, these people need a life, these people need to make a living on their own, and they need to cut out part of the American dream. So he took a chance and he let them make their own decisions for themselves. So, and thank goodness it was my ancestors that had happened. And they took the good fortune and they ran with it. And from that, they basically made America what it is today. Because let's face it, out of coal you have heating, out of coal you have iron, out of coal you have steel, and all of the other attributes that you get from coal. Now, could it have happened had my ancestors not been there? Probably. But I thank the Lord every day that it was. So I want to thank everybody for listening to me today. I wish everybody luck.